Welcome to the stage. I'm Light Melody, and today I want to talk about one particular member of the Shinsengumi because I'm incredibly frustrated that only one piece of media has gotten his family name correct. Okay, at least as correct as I understand it as a Westerner with not that much understanding of Japanese, but enough to make a case of this. Now, if you couldn't tell, I'm not out of the Hakuoki rabbit hole just yet. That's because I'm not out of the bigger Shinsengumi hole that's surrounding it. I've also been reading, watching, and playing things that contain the Shinsengumi for research purposes about that era and the men in general. This is because I want to write or make a game, visual novel or not, about the Shinsengumi leading up to Asteria's artist. Basically covering one part of history in the eternal reincarnating world I created because some of these historical people are in it and, well, we in the West don't have much of a record of them. In English and possibly other languages as well. And the things we do get, you kind of have to dig on the internet to find some answers. The pieces of media that I have consumed that have them are Hakuoki, Peacemaker Kurogane, anime version, I'm reading the manga currently, Blue Wolves of Nibu, the anime, haven't touched the manga, and also Rise of the Ronin. Out of these four, 3 of them contain the man that we will be talking about today, Keisuke, one of the vice commanders of the Shinsengumi. From the title, we have a battle of family names for him. Is it Yamanami or Sanan? Out of the 3 that include him, only one of them gets his name correct, and that will be Hakuoki. My god, does Hakuoki manage to actually keep things historically correct to a point, and get Keisuke's name right. And this has been bothering me for so long, you do not believe the disappointment I get every time I see Yamanami used. Let's go through this together, as to why Yamanami is incorrect and Sanan is. This is how his family name is written out. Now this could be read 2 ways, Yamanami or Sanan. Both are correct. However, as I've researched, people tend to say that you read this as Yamanami in modern day as proof that Keisuke is obviously Keisuke Yamanami. Yeah, except this is incorrect. It's not because how you read it in modern day you get Yamanami. The 100 so years difference from the Edo period to the modern day, you will have some sort of difficulty reading the language. As far as I understand, there are some things that are different, some things that are the same, and there will be some difficulty, but reading it as Yamanami is not a problem. You could read this as Yamanami even back then, and we have proof of this, and that's in the form of Yamazaki. Yamazaki has the same kanji at the start of his family name, and you absolutely read this as Yamazaki. There is no argument that Susumu's family name is Yamazaki, so why the fight with Yamanami? Because we have proof that it's not. But, for fun, let's break down his first name, Keisuke. This is how it's written in kanji. Now, fortunately enough, we have another Keisuke to compare it to. This one. This is Keisuke of Otori. Otori Keisuke, head of the Denshu company. They have the same name, but they are written differently with even completely different kanji. For this Keisuke, Ke can mean respect, while Suke can mean helper or assistant. You can also find this kanji within Heisuke's name or Sanosuke's name. As far as I understand, Suke is sort of given at the end of a name of a helper to a lord or similar role. But now it's more associated with masculinity, so it's often at the end of a boy's name now. It does certainly fit him at the end, as he was the vice commander of the Shinsengumi, and he was respected and loved as well by the men. And that role would actually be picked up by Hijikata after Keisuke's death. Now, if you put the 2 kanji together for Keisuke, you get something along the lines of respected aid or honored help. But what about this Keisuke? Ke can mean, well, a jade, a gem, square, jewel, apparently, or an edge or corner. Suke, in the sense, can mean intermediary, mediate, or shellfish? I mean, considering his studies were in Western military, that fits. So anyway, if we put them together, it could mean along the lines of, I guess, My interpretation would be like a shining mediate? Certainly could talk his way through things, such as creating the Denshu company and using tactics he learned from training under Jude Burnett. Hell, I'm sure it even took a fair bit amount of convincing Hishikata to work with him when they met in Ishikawa. But see how this same name can be written differently and mean different things? So, how do we read this? Yamanami or Sanan? Honestly, this, no matter which way you read it, it will mean Southern Mountain. The problem is which way you pronounce it. And if you're wondering about Yamazaki, his last name is basically Steep Cape. I mean, he was born in Osaka. What can I say? It fits. This is the kanji for mountain. However, there's many ways to pronounce it by onyomi and kunyomi. Onyomi are sounds derived from Chinese pronunciation, when kunyomi are original Japanese pronunciations. The way you read this in onyomi is san, and in kunyomi, yama. This is the kanji for south. In onyomi, it's nan, and in kunyomi, it's minami. Now that we know this, we know how people are reading it. With the derived pronunciation, it's sanan. With the original pronunciation, it's Yamanami. It can be read both ways. But I have come to believe that maybe Yamanami became the more common way to pronounce it because, it's also often said that they could be stubborn a bit, even among themselves. I mean, look at the Boshin War if you want more proof. And if you have not heard of the beef between Kyoto and the rest of Japan, I recommend learning about it. It is, something. But still, which one is it? Sanan. It's Sanan. And this is because we have confirmation from two sources. Keisuke himself and Nagakura. Keisuke signs his name as Sanan in two different ways. This and this. This kanji is san, because this is the kanji for 3. This one, as we learned already, is read nan. In the other one, again, san is 3 and not easily confused with anything else. And this kanji is for male, 3rd male. And if you think about it, it makes sense. He's the second son of his family, making him the 3rd male in his family overall. Second of all, in Nagakura's diaries, he wrote Keisuke's last name as Sanan, and most people take it as a misspelling, but what if he was writing it this way by both of these men, because that is how Keisuke said it. Ever been in a classroom at the start of the school year and the teacher calls out a name and the student corrects it because they did not say it correctly because it's a 1-letter difference? Like Kelly and Callie, 1-letter difference. If your name was Callie and you kept being called Kelly, you'd be very annoyed, right? You might just want to change your name, so why not keep the same sound but spell it differently, like Callie? It's the same sound, but you certainly won't want to say Kelly. Unless, I don't know, your brain is weird to read these the same way. So, I propose a theory. I could be wrong, or Sanan-san tapped into my brain at 2 a.m., but hear me out. I got 2 of them. The first one is simple. It was always Sanan, and he wrote it like this to emphasize that this is how his family name was read. To the point you can't mistake it as anything else. That's reasonable. After all, Nagakura wrote it out how he had heard him say it many times. The second one is the 2 a.m. brainchild. What if it was actually read as Yamanami? It always was Yamanami, plain and simple, but Keisuke himself changed the way it was read. Changed it to Sanan. On purpose. To the derived Chinese pronunciation because he preferred it. Preferring it because he was known to love Chinese poetry and for the language itself. Changing his name from the kunyomi reading to the onyomi reading would bring him closer to the language he loved. After all, before he headed to Kyoto with the Yoshigumi, he wrote a Chinese poem. The bounds of my aspirations lie beyond the edge of the heavens. My endless loyalty is contained within one sword. Whatever steep and perilous roads lie in the 10,000 ri ahead, I make haste for the imperial capital to serve with honor and merit. Ri, here, being a unit for a mile in Chinese that was unofficially used in Japan. Now, whatever way you want to think about it, the fact stands this is read as Sanan, not Yamanami. He wrote his name as Sanan. Nagakura wrote it as Sanan. Even if a language evolves, it is like rewriting history to prefer a current pronunciation. Hakuoki has his name correctly. It is the only piece of media I have found so far about the Shinsengumi that uses Sanan, and this is going to annoy me with every piece I consume, so my own keisuke shall be called Sanan. I hope you enjoyed today's video because it was literally a 2 a.m. brainchild that I created and scripted that I'm sure the actual spirit of Sanan-san possessed me to write. If you made it this far, in the comments, please tell me your favorite name in Japanese, and if I should do another of these videos, because this was kind of fun, if tedious, but you learn something. And if I get something wrong, well, just speak out loud. Again, I'm not fluent in the language, I do what I can. But this was literally annoying me, so this is the other hill I die on, you know? With that, subscribe, like, comment, and check out the Ko-Fi link in the description if you want some merchandise that I had made. Alright, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!